eBay is changing some things, and the only reason why I care is because eBay is without a doubt the largest secondary market of sports cards, of sealed product, of anything really the average person's going to use. It is by far the largest secondary market out there.
Yep.
So they came out with two pretty interesting things that I've seen lately. The first thing, and Aaron, I don't even know if you know this yet, but they have banned question marks in the title, in eBay titles
Yep.
now. So we finally don't have to put up with PSA 10 question mark question mark question mark reprint.
Yeah. Right.
So that is a very, very good change in my opinion. I get sick of that. Anyone that even puts PSA 10 question mark, I just automatically pass the auction based off of principle alone.
Right.
So good change, eBay. Thumbs up from me. I like that
And me.
change.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The second part is eBay has announced that they've come out with a new technology that is going to be able to scan cards and automatically create the listing for them based off of the scan. So I guess that means the uh, the name of the person, the uh, product that it's in. They haven't released any details of it yet, but I assume it's something like that to where it automates and automatically makes your listing. Which, of course, if you're listing a lot of single cards, that could save you a whole lot of time.
Right.
So, Aaron, how do you think that that is going to weigh in on the secondary single card market? And do you think that we've talked about eBay losing ground to some of the other secondary market, Star Stock,
Right.
PWCC, some of the other big ones. What does that do for eBay to kind of continue to cement them being the largest of all those?
Well, first and foremost, I want to see it work first.
Mhm.
Um, with all new technology, the bugs and the glitches are going to be there. Show me how accurate it can be. Show me how wide of a range of cards it can recognize. It should recognize almost everything because almost everything has been sold on their platform before, but it depends on how much their
True.
data tracking goes back. Um, I think it is great in principle. I think it's great sounding. I think it will be wonderful for listing my generic random rookie card of Justin Jefferson when the time comes. Saves me a lot of time and hassle, and therefore makes the $5 I might get for that mosaic rookie more, favorable. I appreciate the idea that it streamlines.
But you're not getting the sense that this is any kind of like game changer. This is more just a quality of life
A year
enhancement.
from now, it might be a game changer. I think it's still a big deal.
Why? Why?
Because a year from now, we'll know if it works or not. I don't have faith that eBay's technology is going to work. I mean, try that stupid thing editing out a background from the mobile app. Like that is the most worthless piece of crap I've ever seen. Um, that type of technology that could have been a really cool game changer ended up
Mhm.
being a waste of my time to mess with it to try to outline the item and do it. Like all that was a waste of time. Um, I think it's good for a lot of reasons, for simplicity's sake, but show me that it can be trusted listing a card of value and not screw me, the seller, when eBay already basically gives the buyer all the power. Show me that it's not going to be yet another thing that gives the buyer all the power, and I
Right.
will I will gladly hand over whatever I need to get that technology working for me to make the money. But
So to me, real quick, I think this is a big win if done correctly to fight against exactly what Connor just put in chat there. Willie Mays reprint PSA
right,
10 question mark.
right,
Like if they are coming up with some sort of standardized format, hopefully it flags reprints, something that's going to be way more flashy in your face so that you don't get what I feel is conned into buying a reprint at something that's way more than what $4 or $5 reprint should go for.
Right.
People getting $100 on a LeBron James reprint. I hope that the standardized format flags those way more than what current sellers are able to sell them for just by putting in RP or something down in the description, or they list the full card and then put in the parentheses, please read, or something like that.
So I agree. Tell me how it's going to pick up some of those reprints. Like some of those reprints look identical to the original.
So in my mind, so yes, in my mind, the seller still has to mark it as a reprint,
Right.
which they do right now. They currently have in the eBay auctions. If you go through the fine print, you can select reprint as one of the conditions of the
Right.
cards. I hope that that is a much more drastic deal on the standardized format of this, as opposed to kind of being buried in the text right now.
Well, and here's the thing. I want to see it in practice because you're putting a lot of faith in the seller. You know how many times that I look at something and go, man, the seller is so lazy because they don't put anything in the description. They just let whatever the title is transpose into the description. They don't put anything additional in there, and you're kind of left with what you're left with. And that is, unfortunately, sometimes detrimental. It's a buyer's market on eBay. eBay protects their buyers. They don't give two flips about their sellers unless you sell in
Yeah.
mass volumes, and even then, not a whole lot. So, with that being the case, I fully agree. Here is where I think it will be the most beneficial. If it standardizes the title, which I'm not convinced it's going to. Okay? I don't think it's going to standardize the title. I think you're still going to have to manually enter a title. If it was to standardize the title and it was to pick up what card it is, that would be wonderful because there are a lot of people that list cards as the wrong things. And it sells for way under what it should sell for because they listed it completely
True.
wrong.
Or they get the name incorrect. That's a big business, is just going and looking for mislabeled
I do it for
cards.
Drew Breast cards all the time. Drew
Yep.
Breast is a wonderful thing to search for on eBay.
Drew Bress is my best
Drew
friend.
Breast is my best friend. Not to be confused with Drew Brees, who actually played quarterback for the New Orleans Saints for a number of years, 15 years. But yes. Hey, it's okay, Connor. It's okay. It's fine. I just don't recommend it because then you just leave yourself more open as a seller by
Hey
not having a
Connor, I,
description.
I leave my descriptions as the same thing as the title, so I'm one of those lazy sellers too.
Hey, it's fine. I mean, you're just giving more power to the buyers there. Like that's the problem is you open yourself up. Like as a seller, the most power you have is by putting the most detail you can in the auction listing, whether that be in the description, whether that be through the preset options, or whether that be in the title. The title only gets you so far. They go by description more than they go by title. So if you put it in the title and it's not actually in the description, eBay doesn't care. Like seller didn't put an accurate, detailed description, therefore you lose because the buyer said it's not what you said it was or whatever. It doesn't say in the description that it's not that or should be that or whatever, therefore it sucks to be you. That's just my from the many, many, many years of selling on eBay on a very high professional level. I can tell you that, the seller is not the one that's ever protected. No matter what their seller protections nonsense is, the seller is never protected anywhere near what the buyer is. There's a reason why you can go buy things on eBay and just never pay for them. And all they do is they record an unpaid, item on your account. Now go look at a bunch of people that have unpaid items and tell me when you click on their profile how big and bold it is that they didn't pay for some items. It's not.
Nowhere.
It's not.
It's nowhere.
Right, like
It's not.
so they got an unpaid item on their account, like big whoop. Like doesn't matter, and it sucks because I blocked people. Like I would wait if they didn't pay, I wasn't selling breaks. I would wait, they didn't pay, I'd try to get them to pay for several days. I'd open up an unpaid item case. I'd give them the maximum amount of time on an unpaid item case that you should. I'd close it, and then I'd block them as a buyer. Okay? To me, that was doing eBay a service because I'm making sure that they don't go unscathed. And I did that for several weeks. for several weeks. And we got burned several times on buys for Tampa Bay, for San Diego, for a number of big teams. And at that point, like, I look at it and go, well, what happened? Well, those people went right on about buying on eBay, with their 95% feedback or whatever. But the problem is an unpaid open item case, and you close it, you can't leave them negative feedback. So you can't leave a negative feedback saying buyer didn't pay, right? So sucks for that. More importantly, if you leave them negative feedback, so let's say you mark it as paid and shipped or whatever you end up doing, just so you can leave them feedback. If you leave them negative feedback, they can easily just leave you negative feedback and make some bull honky up. And then you have to fight with eBay for some amount of time to get it removed. It's a nightmare. Fast forward, the other side of that is what I saw a lot of breakers do. They left positive feedback for people that didn't pay and said in the positive feedback, green check mark, buyer failed to pay, seller beware, terrible buyer. Like, they would put that in bold.
Thanks, man.
And it's like, well, I didn't check that before they bid on my auction. Like, I don't go verify every single person, and I don't, once they win the auction, you're just SOL. So, all that said, to get us back on where the point was that we were going with this technology, I think it's great because it might make something easy. But a year from now, I want to see it in practice. I want to see that it notices what the cards are, that it makes listing easier, that it streamlines titles. I would love it if it would go, that is a 2001 Topps Drew Brees. Make the title exactly that. 2001 Topps Drew Brees rookie. That would be awesome if I could type that into a search bar and it bring up 100 listings of just that.
Just the rookies, right?
That would be great.
That'd make life so much easier.
My biggest problem right now is every time I type in a football product or a baseball product or whatever, it brings up 20 breaks at the very top of the list before I can ever get to whatever product I'm actually looking for.
Or everything is labeled with Prism. Everything.
Panini really popped everybody in the foot with that one because they put Prism as their, special card marking on the back of their cards. So now, if it's on the back of a card, you can absolutely put it in your title. So you want to look up Prism product? Well, good luck sorting through all that nonsense. Like, just a beating.